Between quests, badges, and dungeons alone, there's a lot of content in Wizard101. When you add on things like the Pet Tome, Monstrology, and more, challenging yourself to complete it all seems impossible. However, with careful planning and strategic routes, even a guy like me can complete all of Wizard101. I'm on 1 HP! Okay, no, I'm on 11. I thought it did 110 damage. Oh, I'm so doomed. Oh, I'm so doomed. For starters, I want to bring up that I stream almost every day over at twitch.tv/gooplord69. So if you enjoy the video and you like what you see, come swing by the stream and hang out. I'd love to interact more with the community and let viewers have more control over what happens during the stream. Today we're skimming through the important bits of the story of Wizard101, and this time around we're going to cover Krokotopia, and there's quite a bit going on in this world compared to Wizard City. To start, we begin by assisting some archaeologists who are struggling with a croc infestation to uncover the whereabouts of a book called the Croconomicon. Just for a quick recap, Marleybone is the cause of all the chaos in Wizard City, and we followed him to Krokotopia because we learned that he was searching for a book that contained powerful magic. It seems he intends to use this magic to bring his deceased wife back to life. Bars. And we learned at the very end of Wizard City that he found out that the book is located somewhere in Krokotopia. As we clear the way deeper and deeper into the pyramid, we learn about an organization called the Order of the Fang, and they're apparently the authors of this so-called Croconomicon, so our search begins for any information we can find on both the Order and the Tome. Our archaeologist companions send us back and forth collecting random things to assist their members, and eventually, we uncover the Throne Room of Fire, an ancient tomb where the crocs Manu Narini and Kraken Common reside. We need to fight them in order to recover the Eye of Croc and the Serpent's Staff so that we can use their magic to reveal the location of the Order of the Fang and try to put a stop to Marleybone's plans. On the island the Serpent's Staff points towards, we find Alhazred, who just so happens to also be the main balance school professor. He tells us that the Order of the Fang is indeed here, and to continue, we need to speak with Shalek the Wise, who informs us that the remaining members of the Order are scattered in the different tombs across this island, sealed away and reawakened along with all the other crocs in Krokotopia, thanks to Marleybone. First up, we find General Kaba, a croc spirit whose strength was stolen from him by a spirit. As a member of the Order of the Fang, he agrees that the crocs must be stopped if they've been reawakened, and agrees to help us so long as we can restore his strength. Though, we end up defeating the spirit without very much of a challenge and take our first step towards piecing the Order of the Fang back together. Returning to Shalek to find our last member, Kai Amate, Shalek tells us that he's located somewhere in the Grand Arena. Inside, we find the Arena Master, who tells us that Kai is their greatest warrior, and to even challenge him, we must first work our way through the ranks, defeating different enemies and earning the right to fight Kai. It seems that Kai Amate the Great was too busy trying to recapture lost glory, and was unaware that the Crocs were planning to rise back to power as they did in the past. Defeating him forces him to realize the weight of the situation, and he quickly agrees to help us fight the Order once again to put a stop to the Crocs. Now that the Order of the Fang has once again been reassembled, we finally earn the trust of Shalek the Wise. He informs us that the last person he knew had the Croconomicon was Krokotop, the ruling croc of the Sphinx we're currently inside, and also the thief who stole the book from the Order of the Fang. We work with the Order to enter Krokotop's area, freeing some of the enslaved Manders and defeating Krokotop. It seems Krokotop was drunk on power, and his defeat woke him up to all of his wrongdoings. Now as a spirit, he guides us through the Tomb of Storm to help us defeat Krokopatra, the one who influenced him to give her the Croconomicon. Finally, at the end of our journey, we encounter the Croc Queen, Krokotopia, in the Tomb of Storms, who tells us that she sealed away the book long ago in a sarcophagus that's been taken away by the Marleybonians. This is an incredibly frustrating turn of events, and it seems that even Malistaire was a bit peeved about it. However, since we know that the Croconomicon is located somewhere in Marleybone, we talk to Sergeant Major Talbot in the Oasis once more, and he gives us the spiral key necessary to access the world of Marleybone through the world doors, and tells us that he'll even put in a good word for us, which will conclude our story here in Krokotopia. In total, I didn't feel like Krokotopia had a ton to offer as well, just like with Wizard City. There was a ton of Krokotopian history throughout the books scattered across Krokotopia and sprinkled in throughout the dialogue each character had to offer. But to be completely honest, with all the back and forth between time periods in the story and the multiple instances of events happening both in the past and the present, it can be kind of tough to follow at times. There's also one specific instance that comes to mind where Shalek seems to call Krokotep a member of the Order of the Fang, saying that the book was given to Krokotopia by one of the Order's members. However, there was no indication that Krokotep was ever a member of the Order. Immediately after this, we meet Shalek in the Balance School, where he tells us that he's heard of our deeds in the Krokosphinx, even though he's the primary quest giver for the entirety of the Krokosphinx. He assigns us all of our tasks for us to follow. But who knows, maybe it's just his age showing. He does seem a bit ancient. Confusing dialogue aside though, Krokotopia is quite small. There's only 3 main areas to the world, not including the Oasis, and while they definitely worked on filling out the world's history, the actual events of Krokotopia seem very short and abrupt. Personally though, Krokotopia is one of my favorite worlds in Arc 1 for nostalgia alone, and going through everything certainly brought back a lot of memories. I spent a lot of time in these tombs as a kid leveling up different wizards across all the schools except Life. I've still never played Life. And even though it looks very different from how it used to, it still gave me that same feeling it did back in the day. I appreciate the care that went into making it look the same, just fresh. I'm sure that was an extremely exhausting effort, but I really love that they've gone back and updated the oldest worlds to give them a fresh coat of paint. Wizard City looked really great as well, and I just wanted to bring attention to it because I didn't mention it in the first video. I think up next would be Marleybone, and that sounds pretty exciting to me. Honestly speaking though, I'd love to see a world like Grizzleheim get an update before Marleybone. I know Grizzleheim was added later, but having spent a while in Marleybone myself now, I honestly think Marleybone looks fine. Though that might be a conversation for the Marleybone video coming next. I hope I can get that one out a lot quicker than I got this one out. I really appreciate the love and support the Wizard City video got, and I honestly got lost between figuring out what I wanted to talk about in this video and some personal issues that popped up, so the script for this video took forever and a half to write. If this series continues to receive support like in the first video, maybe we can talk about adding challenges and what that would look like in the future. I've thrown it up in the air for you guys if you guys wanted me to add housing aquariums for all the fish we catch, or maybe house guests from Monstrology. Regardless though, leave a comment about which world you think deserves to get an update first, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like as well. I'd love to talk with you guys on stream, so don't forget to drop by sometime over at twitch.tv/gooplord69 and say hi or join my Discord. The link will be in the description, so you can join and say hello anytime. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll be back in the next video covering the events of Marleybone. See ya!